According to the 1976 Symington and Glynn Amendments of the Armed Foreign Assistance Act, which is now part of the Arms Export Control Act, the United States cannot give foreign aid, whether it's economic or military, to any nuclear armed state that is not a signatory to the Non-Proliferation Treaty or the NPT. But here's the thing. The United States gives billions of dollars every year to Israel. And according to all international arms organizations, Israel has anywhere from 90 to 400 nuclear warheads. And Israel has not signed the NPT. So how does this legally happen? Well, the United States and Israel simply pretend that Israel does not have nuclear weapons. Literally, that's what's done. It's called nuclear ambiguity. This nuclear ambiguity, which allows Israel to continue to receive billions from the U.S. and also operate and maintain their nuclear arsenal with absolutely no international oversight and zero regulation, is maintained and preserved through the threat of force. Due to a previously top-secret gag order, get this, all U.S. government agency employees and contractors are forbidden from discussing Israel's nuclear weapons program. Even insinuating or mentioning information that's already in the public domain is forbidden for all federal employees and contractors. It sounds hard to believe. Let me give you an example. James Doyle used to work at Los Alamos National Laboratory in New Mexico as a nuclear security specialist, and he violated the gag order. Doyle wrote an academic article arguing that nuclear weapons do not do a good job at deterring countries from attacking one another. This is what he wrote, quote, "Nuclear weapons did not deter Egypt and Syria from attacking Israel in 1973, Argentina from attacking British territory in 1982, or Iraq from attacking Israel during the 1991 Gulf War." A clear reference twice to Israel's nuclear weapons. Well, Doyle's security clearance was promptly withdrawn. His home was raided, his computers were seized, and he was fired from the Department of Energy. So apparently, that's how it works. In 2018, The New Yorker published a stunning report in which they discuss another way that Israel's nuclear ambiguity is enforced: secret presidential letters. According to former U.S. officials and former Israeli officials, every recent U.S. administration since the Clinton administration in 1993 has performed the same ritual as they came into office. They all agreed to undermine U.S. law by signing secret letters brought to them by hand by their Israeli counterparts, stipulating that they will not acknowledge what everyone knows, that Israel indeed has nuclear weapons. The National Archives is currently refusing to release the letters, arguing that even confirming their existence would violate the secrecy pact. So, there's a gag order that stops all federal employees and contractors from simply acknowledging Israel's nuclear weapons, and U.S. presidents sign secret letters promising not to acknowledge or pressure Israel to do anything relating to their proliferation status. Well, that means asking questions like these are entirely off limits, enforced by the threat of government violence or lawfare. But all this information does lead to a series of questions, like these. So where does Israel dispose of its toxic waste generated by its program? Are Israel's nuclear weapons ever used to coerce the U.S. into making adverse policy decisions? What about its allies? Besides apartheid South Africa, has Israel offered any of its nuclear weapons for sale to other foreign countries, to U.S. adversaries? Has Israel mounted nuclear weapons onto its German-supplied Dolphin-class submarines? What about their American-supplied F-35 jets? We don't know, because no questions are allowed. And what is the cost, the dollar amount for Americans of this nuclear ambiguity policy? Well, it's not cheap. To be exact, almost $240 billion of military and economic aid that has gone from U.S. taxpayers since the passing of the Symington and Glynn Amendments. That's far more than the United States spent rebuilding Europe under the Marshall Plan. And none of that, $250 billion, should have been allowed under U.S. law. That's the price of keeping Israel secret, $250 billion. And again, where is the International Atomic Energy Agency and international nuclear inspectors, the same ones who monitor every other nuclear-armed country in the world? We don't know because you're not allowed to ask.